Hi, my name is Alexa. I'm going to be your social worker today. Um, you want to tell me a little bit about yourself and why you're here today?
Yeah, my name's Ricardo, but you can call me Rico. I'm 17 and a junior in high school.
Okay.
And my mom made me come here because my grades have slipped a little bit, and she thinks coming here will help me better my grades.
Okay. So your mom wants you to come here to work on your issues about your grades and hopefully make some changes with that. How do you feel?
I know,
about
and I
that?
feel like I could spend my time doing something I enjoy doing rather than sitting here for however long we're here.
So you're not very excited about being here today?
No.
Well, I'm sorry you're not excited, but hopefully we can make the best of this time, and hopefully you won't feel that way when you have to leave.
Okay.
So I did talk to your mom on the phone before our session today, and she mentioned some recent changes in your grades in school and interest in friends, since there's been some changes going on in your family. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, I stopped going to basketball practice and I stopped hanging out with my friends. Right now I just want to be by myself and play video games.
So you kind of quit doing social things and want to focus more on time alone.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me a little about why that is?
Well, my parents are going through a divorce right now, so I kind of don't want to think about it, so I prefer spending my time playing video games where I just think about the video game or playing my game instead of what's going on with my parents.
You can just kind of escape to the video game and focus on that and not have to worry about everything else going on.
Yeah.
So, your parents are getting divorced.
Yes.
That's kind of a tough thing to go through.
Yeah, it's, I don't really care though.
You don't care about them getting divorced?
Well, I guess I'm a little upset that my dad's leaving. I feel like I won't see him once he leaves, he'll just forget about me, and I don't want that to happen.
So you're more worried about what's going to happen after the divorce and the possible changes on the relationship you have with your dad. What is your relationship with your dad like now?
So my dad and I usually on Sundays we go and practice basketball in the park, and then afterwards we go out to eat lunch. It's kind of like our Sunday tradition.
Okay. So the Sunday traditions you have with your dad are really important to your relationship with him.
Yes.
Tell me, I guess, a little bit more about your relationship with your mom.
It's we're not as close as my dad and I are. Or, yeah, right now she kind of just locks herself in her room and cries. And she kind of doesn't seem like she really pays much attention to me.
Okay. So you're a lot closer with your dad. And your mom seems to be really upset about the divorce as well. And since this, you've been feeling kind of neglected by her a little bit.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised when she told me we had to come here.
Because it seems like from when I talked to her that she cares a lot about your grades and your school and you hanging out with your friends and having that social experience. So, do you feel like she cares about that, or?
Yeah, well, I guess when she asked me to come here, it kind of showed that she did care.
Do you have any brothers or sisters?
I have one younger brother. He's 15.
Okay. So tell me a little bit more about your brother.
My brother. He's okay. Right now he kind of acts like nothing's happening, like everything's still normal. My parents aren't going through a divorce. So when I hang out with him, we don't really talk about that or about the divorce. Just to try and keep things as normal between us as we can, since everything around us is changing.
Yeah. So you just want to maintain as much normalcy as you can with your brother while all these other changes are going on around you.
Exactly.
That makes sense. So you haven't even discussed what's going on with him?
I kind of don't want to, just because he's acting like everything's okay. I feel like if I ask him what's happening, he'll start acting weird, and I don't want that to happen.
So you just don't want to like worry him or make him upset about anything if he's okay with it right now.
Right.
Okay. So I guess tell me a little bit more about your friends and the people around you at school.
Okay, well, I don't really hang out with my friends as often as I used to, I guess. But just because I don't want to talk to them about what's going on, I feel like they would make fun of me or poke at me, or even like make fun of how I'm feeling. And I don't think I'm ready to surround myself with that.
So you just don't trust your friends with these kind of feelings and changes going on. You don't feel comfortable confiding in them.
No, I don't want them to make fun of me.
Okay. Do they make fun of you normally?
Yeah, like during basketball practice, if I miss a shot, they'll laugh at me for a while. Or if I fall during basketball and hurt myself, they'll poke at me and make fun of me for a while. So with this is a little more serious. I don't want them to go around telling everyone what's happening.
They don't seem like the most supportive or uplifting
They're not.
friends, no. How do you feel about that? Is that
I guess it's a little disappointing that there's not someone I feel comfortable going to confide in.
so you feel like you can't talk to your brother about it because you don't upset him, and you can't confide in your friends because they're not the most supportive people, and then your parents are separating, so you feel like you're lacking a support group right now?
Yeah, I kind of feel like I'm alone right now. Everyone's doing their own thing.
So how do you think that has manifested itself into the changes in your grades? Do you think they have a connection, or?
Well, I guess because I'm not sleeping at night, because I can't sleep, like I stay up thinking about what's gonna happen after my parents' divorce. I'm tired at school, so I usually fall asleep during class, so I miss instructions and I miss the assignment. So I guess that can contribute to why my grades started slipping.
So sleep is a big part of why your grades have changed. Like you're lacking in it. And you say your parents' divorce is kind of stressing you out and causing some changes in your sleeping patterns. Is that right?
Yes.
Do you see any other changes that big like stress-related changes that happen since your parents have decided to get divorced?
Well, I guess basketball is a stress reliever for me, but since my dad's leaving, I won't be able. Normally, I would practice with him on Sundays, and he giving me like tips on how to improve. I guess like with me not playing basketball anymore, I feel like some added stress. Or there's not anything I can do to relieve the stress like I used to.
So basketball was a big part of your and dad's relationship.
Right.
And you quit the basketball team?
Well, I haven't quit. I just stopped showing up to practices, just because I don't really see the point if my dad won't be here to go in or to help me practice.
So now the change is kind of even made changes in the way you see the importance of basketball in your life, and like it's taken away the outlet that you used to relieve your stress.
Right.
How do your parents feel about the change in basketball? Have they noticed that you've not been attending practices?
Well, if they ask me, I kind of just shrug it off, like, oh, it's no big deal, I'll go tomorrow.
Okay. So they notice, but they don't know
That I just don't want to do it.
Okay.
And I've been telling my coach that my mom hasn't been or staying.
So your coaches have expressed some concern for Ethan?
Yeah, they've asked me a couple of times why I haven't been at practice.
Do you miss basketball, or are you happy with this new change?
No, I kind of miss it, but I don't want to go with my dad with me to go watch movies, I guess.
Have you talked to your dad about
No,
how you feel?
I feel because he seems so busy, like, has a lot going on. He's in like, as an added stress.
Okay.
So I kind of just keep it to myself.
So you see yourself as a stress on your parents?
Yeah, a little bit.
Why do you feel that?
Just because I guess just because I feel like right now they're trying to figure out where my dad's going, if he's staying here, or if he's leaving the city. That if I told him how I felt, it would just make him feel, I guess, guilty or, yeah, kind of guilty that he's leaving and make him want to stay with my mom. But if they don't want to stay together, I don't want to force them. So I kind of just keep it to myself.
So you just don't want to be a burden on anyone.
No.
Right now, during this time, I think there's so many other changes going on. You just don't want to cause another stress.
Right.
So have you told your parents or anybody else about how you feel about these new changes and their divorce and have you talked to them at all?
No, I guess you're the first one that I'm actually sharing my feelings with.
Okay, so I'm the first person you let anybody know, or the first person you let know about any of these feelings you have about everything going on.
Yeah, I guess you're the first person to like really ask me how I'm feeling rather than just assuming.
Okay, so nobody's even really asked about how you feel about what's going on? None. How do you feel about that? Do you wish somebody would ask?
Yeah, it kind of feels like no one cares about me. Like I'm kind of, like they just assume I'm okay, but I'm not okay.
Okay. So it's kind of an isolating feeling. Is that right? Like when no one's everyone's just assuming how you feel and no one's really asking to understand how you feel about what you're going through?
Yes.
Have you talked to your dad about the possibility of him moving kind of far away and the changes that might happen then? You might not see him as much. And
no, well, he kind of just told me that he was going to move. It wasn't he didn't leave it open for discussion. It was kind of like, this is what I'm going to do, and that was it. But I would like to tell him that I don't want him to leave, that I still want him to kind of keep our Sunday traditions and I want him at my basketball games.
Yeah. So it might be important to let him know how important it is that he's still really involved in your life and keeps up the Sunday traditions that you've had and comes to events that are important to you. And that might be important to maintain some type of normalcy after the divorce happens. How do you think your dad would react if you told him how you feel about this?
I don't know. I would hope that he'd want to stay, but like I don't want him to stay just because he feels he has to because of me. I want him to, I guess, be happy. And if I don't make him happy, then I don't want him to be unhappy.
Why do you think that you wouldn't make your dad happy?
Well, I guess because he's leaving and he didn't take me into consideration. He's just kind of decided that to be happy he's going to leave the city, and I wasn't part of that choice.
Have your parents told you anything about maybe why they are getting divorced?
No, actually, no, they haven't. They kind of just told me that they weren't getting along and the divorce was for the best. And then my dad, after they told me about the divorce, my dad told me he was moving cities.
Okay.
So I guess I didn't really care why they were getting divorced. I was more upset that he was leaving.
Okay. So, even though your parents told you they're getting divorced because they're not getting along, you still have some type of worry that you were part of making your dad unhappy?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Because I guess what I'm feeling is that if he was happy, he would have. It's okay if he wasn't with my mom, but he would have stayed somewhere closer so he could still see my brother and I.
So, the fact that he's moving is making you feel like more upset about it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Have you talked to your dad about the way you feel about that? That is how the way you be feeling about him moving?
No, I guess I don't know how to bring it up to him. I guess I'm scared that he's gonna still, like, if I share my feelings with him, that he'll still move away.
So you're scared that even if you tell him how you feel, he won't take it into consideration. It's like, this is a done deal, this is what I'm doing, it doesn't really matter what you have to say.
Right.
You're scared that that's how
Yeah.